Good Thursday evening. Once again this week I'm going to give you your Web Extra one day earlier. I'm going to be out of the office tomorrow afternoon. What an amazing May it's been. We've been talking about the warm weather pattern. Now last weekend cooled things down at Altoona State College. Our 7th warmest May on record. That's before today. We're going to make it close. Not going to make it in Altoona. It will not be our warmest May on record in Altoona. It's going to be really close in State College, but I think we fall a little bit shy. Johnstown and DuBois, fair shot, not too far away, especially for Johnstown. All right, Friday is going to start comfortable. We're going to have a refreshing night. Friday morning, nice, refreshing. The humidity starts to creep up on Friday afternoon. Our future track hinting at a couple of pop-up showers. I do think the activity is going to be very isolated. In fact, if you have outdoor activities on Friday, my gut feeling is 95% of you are going to be dry. Anything that's out there is going to be really small. Humidity starts to return. Saturday really is not going to be a total washout. As you see here, our front is approaching. We'll have some hazy sunshine. It'll be warm. It'll be humid as the front approaches. That's where we can have some showers and thunderstorms. A little better chance in the afternoon. Better yet, the rainfall may be more likely Saturday night into early Sunday as that front kind of comes in and stalls out. Look at the 2-meter temperature anomaly way above average in the northeastern United States. This is for Friday. Watch this area. Going to be talking about that because a bit of a flip coming our way early next week. This is Saturday evening. There's the front. It's going to be moving on through. We'll have some showers and thunderstorms. That front stalls to our south, and this is for Monday evening. We have a low down to our south. We have a high up to our north. Any of you have watched this for a while and know anything about weather, that's not a warm scenario for us. Temperatures Monday may have a tough time getting out of the 60s. I don't think there's going to be a lot of rain here. I think it gets suppressed to the south. But it may be a cool day in the GFS. This is the 2-meter temperature anomaly. Look at how much below average we're talking compared. Now, this may be a little overdone, but in some spots it's going to be chilly with a flow from the Atlantic. And there's going to be a flip around early next week, albeit I don't think it'll last too long. Later next week, the ridge builds back into over the coastline a little bit more. We have a return flow of warm, humid air. And the GFS trying to build a tropical-like system off the southeast coastline. Now, it's really early. A lot of people think, ooh, tropical system along the coastline means a lot of rain. No, not necessarily. Sometimes what it does is I always joke about the zone of niceness. It pumps up a ridge up around it. And if it passes far enough to our east, we end up in a pattern where it's actually warmer and drier thanks to that tropical system. Now, here is the 500 millibar heights. This is for later next week. We do have a ridge in the central United States. There's, again, this is probably weakness from that system off the southeast coastline, another one near the Gulf of Mexico. And that's what we're going to have to watch, those waterways. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that coming up. But first, the GFS ensemble and showing a flip around to cool weather early next week, specifically, I think, on Monday. Temperatures below average, and some of the runs still keeping it a little above average. But this is a low to our south, high to our north. There's probably going to be a day or two where it's going to be cool, but then right back into a warm weather pattern, according to the GFS ensemble. And I agree with that. This is the climate forecast system for the month of June, where it's been wet. It's showing temperatures below average, and I agree with that. And it is my experience that when you have a wet period in early summer, it kind of keeps temperatures down and it kind of feeds back upon itself. And that area is probably not going to be that warm this summer. It does hold warmth in the eastern United States and off to the west. And if you look at the sea surface temperatures, look at how it's above average. Our side of the Pacific, the western Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico, and what that means when it's that warm off the coastline. With El Nino, we're not expecting an active hurricane season. The National Hurricane Center put out their forecast saying below average, and that falls with an El Nino situation. But when you have warm water off the coastline, you got to watch for these little lows and these storms to develop right along the coastline. And, below average hurricane season could mean that, you have less than average. But what it can mean is, still, it could be a bad situation if you have a storm moving right along the coastline and moves on shore and you have some damage. So, if you heard that forecast and think, everyone's safe, that's not the case. It only takes one to cause problems. This is the CFS for July, and you can see above average temperatures being squashed a little bit. I do think the coolness in the middle of the nation, and it starts to encroach on us later on in the summer. So the summer will start warm, and then I think finish comfortable. As for precipitation, I'm tending to think we're going to be, even though there's no strong signal on the CFS seasonal for June, July, August, I think with the dry start, we're going to have a drier summer. Most of the wetness is going to be central United States, something we'll be keeping an eye on. All right, have yourself a great weekend. Tune in tonight at 11, and we'll talk more about a refreshing night.